हेलो दोस्तों, गुड इवनिंग। मैं अनुपम अनुपम ब्लॉग में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है दोस्तों। चलिए, राधे राधे, गुड इवनिंग दोस्तों। जैसा कि आप लोग जानते हैं कि आप लोगों का जो क्लास 10 का एग्ज़ाम होने वाला है वो 26 मार्च से होने वाला है दोस्तों। कब से होने वाला है? 26 मार्च से। आप लोगों का रूटीन भी इस वीडियो में प्रोवाइड कर दिए थे दोस्तों। हम लोगों को 30 डे अभी मात्र 28 दिन बचा हुआ है दोस्तों। जी हाँ दोस्तों, इसलिए तैयारी दमकल की दिए। और एक बात इम्पोर्टेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन दिया जाता है, अभी क्लास 9 का बैचेज चालू नहीं होगा दोस्तों। जी हाँ बिल्कुल दोस्तों, क्लास जो 9 का है अभी बैचेज चालू नहीं हो सकेगा दोस्तों, ठीक है। उसके जगह हम लोग 6 मार्च से 20 दिन बीच मैराथन चालू करने वाले हैं दोस्तों। 6 मार्च से 20 दिन लगातार 20 दिन हर सब्जेक्ट का 20 दिन बीच मैराथन होने वाला है दोस्तों। इसलिए 6 मार्च से आना ना भूलें दोस्तों। तो दोस्तों एग्ज़ाम बहुत ही है, 1 महीना भी है, बहुत ही नज़दीक है दोस्तों। अब 1 महीना भी समय नहीं बचा है दोस्तों, ठीक है। तो हम लोग चर्चा करें। और टोली हम लोग आज 2 दिन बाद लाइव आया हैं, 3 दिन बाद लाइव आया हूँ दोस्तों, ठीक है दोस्तों। तो आज है 25 तारीख और अभी बढ़ रहे हैं रात के 10 और अभी है हिंदी का क्लासेज। जो हिंदी का क्लासेज बाद में ले लेंगे दोस्तों। और आज हम लोग चर्चा करेंगे इंग्लिश का क्लासेज, इंग्लिश 2 का दोस्तों। लास्ट क्लासेज में हम लोग चर्चा किए थे चैप्टर 2 द थीफ स्टोरी दोस्तों। तो पूरा कहानी हम लोग पढ़ चुके थे दोस्तों, ठीक है दोस्तों। जल्दी जल्दी चैनल शेयर करें वीडियो को और सब्सक्राइब करें जो जल्दी जो पहली बार आए हैं दोस्तों, ठीक है। तो आज हम लोग चालू करेंगे इंग्लिश 2 का, चर्चा करेंगे चैप्टर 2 थीफ स्टोरी लेक्चर नंबर 2, ठीक है। तो दोस्तों हम लोग अभी थोट क्वेश्चन आंसर करेंगे दोस्तों। बहुत अब हम लोगों का 1 महीना भी समय नहीं बचा, सिलेबस कवर करना है दोस्तों, ठीक है। तो आज हम लोग क्वेश्चन आंसर करेंगे। थोट क्वेश्चन और लॉन्ग आंसर क्वेश्चन दोनों खत्म हो जाएगा चैप्टर दोस्तों। फिर नेक्स्ट डे हम लोग चर्चा करेंगे चैप्टर 3 द मिडनाइट विजिटर दोस्तों। चलिए क्वेश्चन, व्हाट डिड ही apparently successful hand at enter? He is fairly successful in winning the confidence of his employers and then rubbing them he is never catch. Next question, what did he get from Anil in return for his work? Answer, at first Anil did not pay him anything except giving him food to eat. Later he decided to teach him to read and write. Next question, how did the thief Anil how did the thief think Anil will react to the theft? Enter, thief thought that Anil would not react much when he had been robbed because he was a careless person. Next question, what did he say about the different reactions of people when they are robbed? Enter, he felt that it is easy to rob a greedy man because he can afford to be robbed, but it was difficult to rob a careless man because sometimes he does not notice that he had been robbed. Next question, does Anil realize that he had been robbed? Enter, Anil realized that he had been robbed when he found the notes are wet, but he does not know to hurry think his finding. Next question, who is I am in the story? Why did it change its name every month? Enter, I in this story is the narrator. He changed his name to avoid the police and his former employer. It was because he was a thief. क्वेश्चन जो इम्पोर्टेंट है दोस्तों, इसको बढ़िया से देखिए। Why was the thief grateful to Anil? Enter, Anil pat down early things had when he cooked hopeless food and said, never mind, I shall teach you to cook Hoplet put out him to write his name. He also told him that he would teach him to write whole sentence and to add number. Therefore, that he felt grateful to Anil. Next question. Why did he want to become an educated man? Enter Hari thinking that there would be no limit to what he TVP could lie. Therefore, he wanted to become an educated man. Next question. What was Anil's job? What did he usually do with the money he earned? Enter. Anil's job was to write, and his income was not regular. As soon as he got some money, he would go out and make merry. He wasted his money in letting an easy going and carefree life. दोस्तों आप लोग ये 6 मार्च से पढ़ेंगे, 20 दिन बीच में राशन चालू होने वाला है दोस्तों। कृपया ये भूल ना करें दोस्तों, क्योंकि उसमें बहुत टोट पढ़ा देंगे दोस्तों, ठीक है। तो इसको जल्द से जल्द इस वीडियो को शेयर करें वीडियो, ताकि ये वीडियो बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है दोस्तों, ठीक है दोस्तों। चलिए देखते हैं नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। What did Anil give him in the morning? Enter. In the morning, Anil gave him a 50 rupee note. He promised also to pay him regularly. Next question. How did the thief realize that Anil knew that it had been stolen? Enter. Due to a dampness of the note, the thief realized that Anil knew that it had been stolen. Next question. How did the thief know that Anil had forgiven him? Enter. Anil gave the thief a 50 rupee note. He promised to treat him as usual. He did not show any hint of anger. All did convince the thief that Anil had forgiven him. Next question. Why did the thief smile without any effort towards the end of the story? Enter. When the thief realized that Anil had forgiven him, he smiled at him in his most appealing way because he wanted to please him. दोस्तों थॉट एंटर क्वेश्चन हो चुका है चैप्टर 2 का 13 क्वेश्चन हम लोग किए। चलिए हम लोग लॉन्ग एंटर क्वेश्चन देखते हैं दोस्तों। लॉन्ग एंटर क्वेश्चन देखते हैं दोस्तों। पहला क्वेश्चन, trust and compassion can deform a person. Justified is the statement in the light of the lesson that thief the story. Answer. There is no doubt about the fact that trust and compassion can indeed deform a person. The thief had come to live in Anil's house with the sole intention of robbing him, but gradually began to realize that Anil was one of the most trusting people he had ever met, and it became difficult for the thief to rob him. Even when the thief had robbed him, he could not bring himself to treat a good and respected man like Anil. He decided that he should go back to him because he had started to like living and working with Anil. Anil trusting, compassionate and sincere attitude formed the thief to such an extent that he was willing to give up stealing altogether only to remain with Anil. Even though the thief tried to, he could not betray Anil's trust and deceive him. Next question. What are Hari's reaction to the prospect of receiving an education? Do they tend over? Hari's reaction to the prospect of receiving an education undergo a change. In the beginning, he think that if he wrote like an educated man, he could achieve limitless success or money. He later thought proved it, and later he felt that if he wrote whole sentences, they could bring him more than a few hundred rupees. Money does not hold much attraction for him. No, what he wanted from education is to become a big man, a caliber and respected man may be Anil is idol in that they make him return to Anil because only Anil could treat him as the one. Next question तो बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है दोस्तों, हो सके तो इस जोडल बाइट में आने का उम्मीद है दोस्तों. Who was Anil? Give it correct answer. Anil was a writer. He was an easygoing and careless man. He had spent whatever he earned by writing for magazines. He lived in the present and did not care a pin for future. He was a simple and kind-hearted person. He was trusting and generous. He agreed to feed everything when he said that he could cook. However, he did not turn him out for this house when he proved a hopeless cook. Gradually decided to teach him both to cook and to read and write. Thought he knew that Haliting made money from daily purchases that he did not mind it. Later he trusted Haliting fully. He gave him every opportunity to mend only from himself. Anil was a noble-minded person. He chose not to expose Haliting's attempted theft. He was Halitingly formal. He turned a thief into a respectable person. Next question तो ये भी बहुत important है दोस्तों. Write a character at get of the thief enter. दोस्तों ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है दोस्तों, हर बार एग्जाम में आता है दोस्तों. एंटर द क्वेश्चन तो सुनिए. राइट अ करेक्टर एट गेट ऑफ द थीप एंटर. The thief was a young lad of 15 to steal money. When he met Anil, he told him that he wanted to work for him. Anil took him to his room and asked him to cook the meal. The meal which he cooked that night was very bad, but Anil allowed him to stay in his room. The thief made a profit of about ₹1 a day. When he bought the necessary things for Anil, Anil did not mind it. He trusted him and tried to educate him. The thief stole Anil's money when he got an opportunity to do so. He went to the railway station, but he did not run away. He realized that he would become a respectable man if he was educated. He was grateful to Anil because he was trying to educate him. So he came back to Anil and put the stolen money back under the mattress. Anil forgave him and gave him a 50 rupee note. He trusted and compassion reformed the thief. Next question. Why did Hari think steal Anil's money? Why did he decide to return his answer? Anil was a trusting and careless man. It was difficult to rob him because he would not even notice he had been robbed. Moreover, Anil had given him the key to the door. He was free to come and go as he pleased. He had every opportunity to rob Anil. However, such a robbery would not provide him any pleasure. One day Anil put ₹600 under his mattress. Haliting could not resist the temptation. He thought Anil would waste the entire money on his friend. Moreover, Anil did not pay him any cash. He urged him to steal the money. He could board the slow moving train. It kind picked him for betraying Anil trust. Above all, his courage to become a respectable person made him decide to return the stolen money. Next question. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन और लास्ट क्वेश्चन भी है चैप्टर का दोस्तों. Love and empathy can transport benefit. How is it true in case of anything enter? We would to love and empathy even to a criminal. This is the truth. Why to reform him? Anil tempted with everything and got ready to feed him. He could cook food for both. Anil treated the bad meal prepared by everything to dog the first day. Out of empathy, Anil took upon himself to teach him how to cook and did and right. Everything made a profit when he vowed the daily supply. Anil was aware of it. However, he loved him like his younger brother, and he even trusted him with the key of the house. Haliting had to lead money, but it can take time to get him to return that time, and he understood everything. But the Lord tempted him, he promised to him and pay him regularly. Indeed, we 11 tempted and promised even and alternative. दोस्तों समाप्त हो गया ये चैप्टर 2 द टिप्टोरियल। दोस्तों इंग्लिश 2 में भी 2 चैप्टर समाप्त हो चुका है दोस्तों। और दोस्तों आज रखिएगा 20 दिन बीच में रातन बिल्कुल शुरू से हम लोग क्लास 10 का चालू करने वाले हैं। 6 मार्च के दिन रविवार थे दोस्तों, और उसका टाइमिंग अलग होगा। ये भी बैच एक चलते रहेगा और वो भी बैच चलेगा 20 दिन बीच में रहता है, ठीक है। उसका टाइमिंग अलग होगा दोस्तों, इसका भी टाइमिंग अलग है। इसका टाइमिंग तो है ये रात को 10 बजे तक, और उसका टाइमिंग मैं आप लोगों को 4 तारीख को प्रोवाइड करवा देंगे, 4 मार्च को, ठीक है दोस्तों। ठीक है, नेक्स्ट डे जिस बार इंग्लिश होगा हम लोग पढ़ेंगे। नेक्स्ट चैप्टर जिस दिन इंग्लिश होगा नेक्स्ट क्लास में हम लोग पढ़ेंगे। बता देते हैं सिलेबस देख के, लाइन पे रहिएगा। इंग्लिश चैप्टर 3 हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे द मिडनाइट विजिटर दोस्तों, ठीक है। हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे चैप्टर 3 द मिडनाइट विजिटर, ठीक है दोस्तों। आज के लिए इतना ही। और हाँ, अभी भी नेक्स्ट क्लासेस चालू होने वाला है 10:30 बजे दोस्तों, उसको 2 मिनट बाद चालू होगा, ठीक है दोस्तों। थैंक यू, धन्यवाद। और 24 दिन 24 मैराथन के लिए तैयार रहे दोस्तों। ये ना सोचते हैं कि 24 दिन तो चालू होगा तभी तो आएंगे। यही बेट बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है दोस्तों। ये बेट में डिटेल से पढ़ाते हैं दोस्तों, और वो बेट में डिटेल से नहीं पढ़ाएंगे, क्योंकि हम लोग को हम लोगों को तो 20 दिन में तो हम लोग को पूरा सिलेबस कवर करना है दोस्तों। ये होने चला है 1 महीना, तो क्या ये 2 महीना में सिलेबस कंप्लीट होगा। लोग 20 दिन में अंतर है ना दोस्तों, ठीक है दोस्तों। इसके लिए और 24 मैराथन के लिए 2 से 2.5 घंटा का क्लास होगा, ठीक है दोस्तों। आज के लिए इतना। थैंक यू, धन्यवाद, गुड नाइट, बाय।